students, namaste and welcome. Today here I am to help you with the lessons from your grade 4 English book. In today's lesson we are going to do the last lesson from unit 14. Okay students, so here we will talk about grammar second, and in this grammar section we are going to talk about the use of could and could not. Okay students, and I am also going to focus on some of the other similar ideas that we have discussed in this whole unit. So let's talk about what we have talked in this unit. Okay, in this unit we have talked about expressing abilities. Do you remember? Yes, with the help of can we have expressed the abilities that we have. Yes, and I am going to include that, and we are going to discuss whole ideas about how to express abilities in different tenses and different forms. Okay students, so let's just have a look at the revision quickly and then we will start. Okay, let's have a look at the revision of the previous lesson that we have done. In the previous lesson we did, do you remember that, reading text, that was a conversation. Okay, in that conversation we did some exercises like true false or completion exercises. Yes, and that conversation was also about similar thing that we are going to talk about today, and we did other comprehension exercises after that, like vocabularies and so on, right? Okay, now let's have a quick preview that what we are going to do today. Here we are going to, as I already told you, we are going to use, in grammar, can, cannot, could not. Okay, and then we will do the exercises that we have under this grammar 2 section. Okay students, so let's begin with the expressions, how we can express different abilities. So our topic mainly is expressing abilities. Okay, so let's have a short discussion about this topic, how we can do. Okay, I'll try to summarize whole unit, and I'll also give you the idea about today's lesson, that is could and could not. So let's talk about some sentences that tells what we are going to learn. Okay, so we are going to write some sentence like I can write some poems. I could climb trees in my village. Okay, students, now next sentence I'm going to write I will be able to drive a car soon. Okay students, so here we are going to talk about mainly three things. Okay, so use of can, use of could, and will be able. So these all are the forms for expressing our abilities. Okay, so when do we use them? When do we use can, and when do we use could, and why do we need able to? Okay students, so let's talk about it. Okay, I can, this one is for talking about present time. Okay, so what abilities you have right now at this time, and could is for the past abilities, what you could do. For example, let's talk about myself. I can say that I can write some poems now. I can write simple short poems right now, and I could climb trees in my village when I was small. Okay, when I was a boy or child in my hometown in village, I could climb trees. Today I cannot because I have not practiced it. Okay, So another form is will be, this is for future, okay? So maybe you are planning to do something in future and you will have that skill. You will have that ability to do something. For example, right now I don't know how to drive a car, okay? In the past as well, I did not drive a car. And in future, I might drive a car because I'm planning to learn it, okay? Learn to drive or take a license to drive a car. Then we can talk about our future abilities with the help of be able to with will, okay, students? Okay, so these are the three forms that we can use to express our abilities. If you want to talk about the past, about your family members or your grandfathers, your father, mother, they might have different abilities when they were young. So you can say that my father could, okay? My father could cross a big river easily. My father could, okay, climb trees, very high up trees easily. Likewise, you can describe what could they do. Okay, students, so now let me present different tenses and their forms. Let's divide them into different forms, okay? So we talked about present, we talked about past, and we talked about future. Okay, so it will make us easier to classify them. So present, we can talk with the use of can, and for past we can use could, and for future and other tenses we can use able to. Why do we need this be able to for future? Because we cannot say I will can, okay? You cannot say I will can do. You cannot say, okay, in future with can you cannot use will. So we need be able to, okay? So with the phrase, with the words be able to, we can say I will be able to. I will be able to, okay? Now what do you want to be or what skills you will have? You can write about it. And you can say I can jump high, okay? I can jump high, okay? This is your ability at the present. And you can say for past, I could read letters in grade 1, okay? So you learned ABCD, okay, in your early grades, so you could read that there, okay? You had that abilities in the past as well, and you will have future abilities. Now you can sometimes you may ask someone's ability. So how do you ask? Once again, can you tell me? Yes, you can use can at the beginning, and then you can make a question for asking someone's abilities, like can I help you? Okay, can I get you some water? Okay, so likewise you can express or ask someone's ability. Likewise, you can say could you read letters, okay, letters when you were 5 years old. Likewise, you can ask someone's ability in the past. And likewise, you can ask about future ability. Will you be able to play the guitar? Okay. Likewise, you can make different questions with will. So what do we have at the beginning? We have can here. We have in the statement we have I, and for question we have can. Here we have could, and here we have will, and the subject is just moved after this can or will and could, and you are asking question and you have question mark at the end of your sentence. Okay, students? So can you make such questions and ask your friends, your family members? Okay, good. You can say, you can ask your father, your mother, could you climb trees? Could you dance very well? Could you sing songs when you were young? Mother, you can ask your mother with could you, okay? Because you are talking about their young ages. You are talking about many years earlier. So you have to say could you for asking about the past. Okay, students, and if you can't, if you have no abilities, you may not do everything. For example, you can't now drive a car, you can't ride a bicycle or bike, you can swim maybe. So you can use negative, this is questions, okay? For negative, okay, students, what can you use? Cannot, okay, together, or in short form for speaking you can say can't as well, okay? Cannot or can't. For example, I cannot swim because I haven't learned. I cannot ride a bike because I am small. I cannot write a poem because it is difficult for me, okay? And you can use the short form, I can't run faster than my friends. Okay, likewise, if you want to talk about your inabilities in the past, you can say I could not or couldn't. Could not or couldn't together. Okay, so you can say I could not get A plus or A plus in my earlier grade. I could not win the game. I could not run faster, so I lost the game, and so on. You say some past activities and your inabilities, okay? When we can't do something in the past, or when we couldn't do, you say I could not or couldn't. Okay, did you understand, students? So what we are talking about, our abilities, okay, in the past. If you want to talk about could not, in the present, at the present you can say can, cannot, or asking with can I, can you. Okay, dear students, now let's have a look on your screen and see there the similar things that I have presented to you so that you can understand this idea clearly. We can express ability and inability with the use of can, could not, and we have shown on the board as well present, past and future forms. So we can say at present I can, cannot or can't. In the past I could not, I couldn't, or I could, and in future you can talk about I'll be able to. I'll be able to get good marks in the next exam. Okay, I'll be able to ride a bicycle when I turn 8 years old. And once again you can talk about other different similar ideas. And let me show you some examples that you can use. For example, I can't drive a car. I can ride a motorbike. I could climb trees easily. I'll be able to speak in English. Okay, well, you are learning English, and one day you will be able to speak English, right? Won't you? Yes, you will be able to speak English. Definitely, you will speak like me, right? Yes, good. So you have to keep on learning and speaking. So you will be able to speak in English in coming days. Okay? Okay, very good. Now let's talk about the forms of the sentences once again here. So for present, you can ask, can you ride a bicycle? Can you get me some water? Can you close the door? can you open the window? And you can say, if you can, I can, yes, I will open the door. Or you can say, I'm able to ride a bicycle. Or you can say, I cannot, I can't. And for example, you can see here in this picture, can we get A in grade 5? Can we get A in grade 4? And what can be the answer? Yes, we can do it. We can do it. We can get A. Okay, yes. Now, can you read this sentence and look at the picture? What is the dog doing? Dog is trying to get out, right? So, yes, can you read it aloud? Yes, very good. Oh, the dog is saying, probably saying, oh my God, I can't get out, right? I can't get out. So, unable to get out. And next picture, can you guess to this picture, what is the man thinking? Can you guess? Yes, you're right. He might be thinking, or he might be saying, oh God, how can I get home? How can I get home? He is unable to get home because there is no vehicles on the way. So see. And look at this picture. So what is the man saying? Man is encouraging you. You can do it. Like you can say, he can say, or someone might say, if you can dream, you can do it. And what is the next two people to say? What are they saying? Yes, I can develop my country. A leader might say, I can develop my country. You can't doubt on that. Look at this sentence. Can develop, can't doubt. Okay? And what about this picture? Can you dance? Yes, we all, everyone like to dance, right? Everyone like to dance, but sometimes we fail to dance because we can't move our hands, right? Look at the boy. He is unable to move his hand because he does not know how to move them, okay? So do you feel like this? Sometimes, okay? So he might say, yes, but I can't move my hands. I can dance, look, I can dance, but I can't move my hands. How to move them? Okay, so that there is the difficulties. So unable to move his hand. Okay, let's talk about the past. Once again, for asking, you can say, could you dance when you were young? Could you run faster when you were young? Were you able to, you can also ask, were you able to get grade A or GPA, grade plus A plus or A? Then you can say, yes, I could. I was able to get that GPA. Okay, and saying you were unable, or if you say able, then you can say, I could. Yes, I could. Definitely, I could. I was able to do that. And if you were not, then I could not get that marks. I could not get higher marks than 90. Or you can say other, I could not drive, or I could not ride bicycle even when I was 5, 6 years old. I wasn't able to speak in English until I was 5 years old. Likewise, you can talk about the abilities in the past. So for example, let's see the example. How can we say, could you speak in English when you were small? No, I couldn't because I learned it recently. Okay, if someone is learning it recently, then he or she could not or won't be able to in the past. So what could you do at the age of 5? Another question. With what question? I could read a simple story at that age. Okay, that was the ability in the past. So let's talk about this picture. So what do you think? What do you remember with this picture? Can you tell me your wish? So how do you wish? I wish, look, I wish I could fly like the birds, like birds. You can say in using could, you can express your wishes or abilities. Okay. Another question, what do you say about the acting in the film? Okay, if someone asks to a lead or an actor, he might say, I think I could do better. Okay, I think I could do better. It means he did something not satisfactory, but he could do better. अझै राम्रो गर्न सकिन्थ्यो. Okay, सकिन्थ्यो. He thought. Okay, let's talk about, could you do the skydiving? तपाईले यस्तो गर्न सक्नुहुन्थ्यो skydiving? What do you say if someone did this? You can say, I don't think I could do that. मलाई लाग्छ म यस्तो गर्न सक्दिन थिएँ. Okay, सक्दिन थिएँ. यसरी I could not do skydiving because I'm afraid of diving. Okay, skydiving. Let's talk about future. Once again, will you be able to? You can ask with the question, will you be able to? Okay, speak in English fluently after 1 year. Okay, so you can say, I will be able to speak, or I won't be able to speak in English. Okay, that is the answer and this is the question. So the example can be, when will you be able to ride a bike? I'll be able to ride a bike soon. Will you be able to climb Mount Everest after a few years? No, I won't be able to do that because I'll be still a child. Okay, so in future too, in few years as well, I will not be able to climb Mount Everest. Let's talk about one interview here once again. Will you be able to get the success? And he is saying, hopefully I'll be able to do that again. Okay, so he's thinking about the future ability. So we have now discussed about the use of can, could, and will be able to. Now let's have a look at the book. Okay, students, it's grammar section 2, and let's have a look at the conversation here again. We have similar exercises in our book, and you can observe this conversation, listen to this conversation, and learn the similar structure so that you can express your abilities in the past. Okay, we have talked about present and future for you for extra information. Now we have mostly could not, that is expressions of past abilities. Okay, students, let's see. Let's listen to them carefully and find out. Okay, let's listen.
What could you do when you were a young man?
I could ride a horse.
Could you climb mountains in your school days?
No, I couldn't. But I could climb up trees.
Okay, students, so in this conversation, what do you see here? A boy, small boy is asking to his grandfather. What is he asking? He's asking, could you, or what could you do when you were a young man? Okay, like him, when he was young. So he says, I could ride a horse. Okay, riding a horse means, okay, riding on a horse and going somewhere. So another question is to her mother, to his mother, could you climb mountains in your school days? Mother says, no, I couldn't, but I could climb up trees. Look at here. She couldn't climb up the mountains, but she could climb up the trees. Okay, students, now next conversation. Let's listen to the conversation and find out the similar structure.
Could you listen to music at a young age?
Yes, I could. But I still can.
Okay, yes. What did you hear? Yes, a small grandchild is asking to her grandmother, could you listen to music at a young age? Because when you get older, what happens? You lose your hearing power. Your grandmother and your grandfather may not hear you clearly, right? Yes. So she is asking, could you listen to music when you are young? And she says, look, yes, I could. Yes, I could. And I still can. But I still can. She still hears. So some people may hear at the old age, but some old people cannot hear, right? Yes. Okay, students, now let's have a look at the exercise B here. We have completion exercise here. We have given the list of words like climb, eat, win, get down, go, use, read, catch, sleep, lift, ride. These are the words, and you have to now fit them here. Okay, here with could or could not. Look here, you need to add could or could not before them and use here. Let's read the example here. It was a pity. It was a pity we couldn't win the football match. Look at here. Why it is pity? Because we couldn't win the football match. Likewise, a sentence say, I didn't have a school uniform. I, look at here, to school. Do you go to school when you don't have your school uniform? Mostly you don't go, right? So you can say, I could not go or couldn't go to school because you didn't have a school uniform. Likewise, sentence B, Henry went fishing, but he went fishing, okay, catching fish, but the word but has said that there is the different result. If you go to catch fish, then if you don't catch, then what happens? You couldn't catch fish. So he couldn't catch a fish. You get the verb from here, catch, and you couldn't catch a fish. The girl climbed up the tree, but look at here. She climbed up the tree. The word but shows that she did not have a good result. So look at here, get down. You have to get down, right, once you climb up. So what do you say? You couldn't get down. But she couldn't get down. The girl climbed up the tree but couldn't get down. Jack was very strong. Look at here, he is very strong means, he was very strong means he could lift the heavy suitcase. So you should say he could lift heavy suitcase. My sister was sad because she her ice cream. So when you become sad, when you couldn't or eat or have something which you wanted, then you become sad. So she became sad because she couldn't eat her ice cream. Other sentences are here. F, my little sister left us when she was 3. When your sisters and brothers are 3, they might have the abilities, and you can say she could or my sister could read letters when she was 3. David, okay, well last night because of the noise. So which verb we need here? At night we sleep, right? So we sleep here. So David could not sleep well last night because of the noise. When there is noise, we cannot sleep. So David could not sleep last night. And when Indu was a small kid, she couldn't use a computer. So when you are very small, you may not know where to press, how to open it, how to switch on. Okay, so she couldn't use it. Okay, sentence I. My grandfather said he could climb or couldn't climb mountains. Okay, both is possible. So you can say couldn't climb or could climb mountains. If your grandfather says I could climb many mountains, I could climb many mountains, or if he says I couldn't climb mountains, then you can say couldn't. If he says could, then you can say could climb. Sentence J here, Pasang, look here, his motorcycle, so he used to walk to school. So he used to walk means he couldn't, right? So he couldn't ride his bicycle or motorcycle. Okay, so he used to walk to his school. Okay, students, so we have completed this exercise B, and now we are going to look at the exercise C here. So let's have a look at this exercise. Go around the classes, okay, go around the class with the following form. I'm going to show you the form. Ask questions to 5 of your friends to find out at least 2 things they could do or couldn't do in the past. So let me show you the form. You have to ask 5 things that they could do or they couldn't do. So here one example is here. Nita Chaudhary could catch fish, couldn't climb trees. Now likewise you have to now list the names of your friends here like this, like Sam Mugar, Nisa Karki, for example Bina Tamang, Gopal Podel, maybe, or suppose they are your friends. Now you have to ask them 5 abilities or 5 of them about their abilities and inabilities in the past. Let's see what can be the possible answers. You can ask them. Sam Mugar, maybe, for example, fly kites. He could fly kites. He could not play cricket. And Nisa Karki could dance. She could not play the madal. Bina Tamang could sing Nepali songs but could not sing Hindi songs. And Gopal Podel could count in Nepali but could not count in English. Okay, this is one example. You can ask about their abilities and list the words like this in this column, and their inabilities. If they couldn't do, then list the activities here. Okay, students, so this is how we can do these activities. Okay, now let's look at the following exercise of this exercise C here. Now you are going to write about this table. So how can you write? You can say like, Nita could catch fish, she couldn't climb trees. And you can write, Sam could fly kites, he couldn't play cricket. Nisa could dance, she couldn't maybe climb trees. Bina likewise could do that, she couldn't do that. Likewise you can write, keep on writing, okay? So can you do that? Okay, very good. So this is your homework. You can do it, and you can see also the examples given here and you can follow, okay? Okay, very good. Now we are going to look at the last exercise, last task for you. Now this is your homework again. Ask your parents what could your grandfather could do and or couldn't do. I'll give you examples. For example, you can ask, how do you ask? You can ask your grandfather, could you, okay, with the sentence with could you, okay, could you catch fish, could you catch fish when you were young? Okay, this is your question, okay? So you have to change other activities with other, okay, words. Like you can ask about catching fish. You can talk about playing musical instruments like play the madal, or you can say other games as well, play football, and so on. So these are other examples that you can ask your grandfather or your father or your grandmother. Could you play football when you were young? Could you play the madal when you were young? Could you catch fish when you were young? This is how you can ask your grandfather, and you can write. You can write after you get the answer. He could play. You could play football. Football. Nicely in his young age. Okay, likewise, you can say he could, he couldn't. Okay, he could do that, he couldn't do that, and you can write a paragraph. Okay. Okay, students, so this is the last exercise, this is the last task that you can do as your homework. Now we have come to the end of today's lesson. So we today did a grammar 2 exercises from Unit 14, and here we talked about using different words for expressing abilities. The words we talked about are can, cannot, could not, will be able to. Okay, so you can use them and write or talk in this sentence or in this form. Okay, nice to have you in my class, in this class. Please keep on learning with these lessons. I hope you will be benefited and you have learned from these lessons as well. Have a nice time. Namaste. See you again.